It's the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Sam Howell. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Commanders and the Eagles. Coming up next.
We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in week 4. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver Brown. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Pressure, and they got to him again. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Now a 2nd and 2. Now they go play action with Howell. He's got Thomas yet again complete. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. You look at this Eagle defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run. Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way. Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Second down, here's Hurts. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On the option to give to Swift here. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Throwing is Hurts.
Under pressure, and down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
This is brought in at the 21.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2.
They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right?
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington.
Jahan Dotson,
66 yards.
And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Sly on for the extra point.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run the option on third and short yardage.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down. Once again, it's Swift.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Here's Braden Mann now,
as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
Howell out of the shotgun. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. And Howell will throw it.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
That one downfield for Dotson.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They will run straight ahead with Swift. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll begin in Orchard Park, an AFC East matchup between Miami and Buffalo. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Josh Allen has a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Jonathan Mingo, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. 2 touchdowns in that ball game for Javonte Williams. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaud.
So here's Washington now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Howell and the Commanders come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Deron Payne picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Hurts sets up to throw it. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll go play action. Howell. Flushed out right. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. Off play action. It's Howell. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
But 1st down, Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Buying time. Hurts fumbles it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect 2nd half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard at doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Washington on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Eagles will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game.
Hurts fumbles it, and it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Benjamin St. Juste.
And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Washington.
They'll run again here with Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
They'll run with Robinson.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes this 35-0 now.
35. Eagles, nothing.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
At their own 14-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Crowder now to return. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Robinson up the middle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
And the Washington 1st down.
On the give, here's Robinson.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Handoff now to Robinson.
Oh, fighting off the defender. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 yards there, just like last play.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Commanders, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
The pick and roll shit, gotta go, we don't move it scary. Last time a shed a tear, that when Prince died. Cause if we rockin', then you know we rockin' like a Slipknot. See, this ain't basketball at halftime, we on switch sides. She thinks she love me, but she